Good evening. My name is Maggie Kearney and I'm your host for today's show, the AP Euro Show. Today we'll be talking about a very serious topic, the Berlin Conference. On November 15th, something changed. This event known as the Berlin Conference changed the landscape, culture, and life of African people and immigrants, all caused by one growing faith in imperialism. Africa has gone through a lot of change. The African territory has experienced stealing, has been taken advantage of, and emptied of its beautiful resources. South Africa specifically was a region that had a great portion of its rights taken away, and land as well. It's gone through a period of the 1600s, 1600, where the Dutch began to colonize. We tell ourselves there's a purpose for everything. But why was South Africa named? The definition of imperialism, according to dictionary.com, is a noun defining the policy of expanding the rule or authority of an empire or a nation over foreign countries, or of acquiring and holding colonies and dependencies. But why was imperialism so big, and what was it about? Imperialism has been around for centuries and is an act of selfishness. People expanded for popularity and a higher status. Europeans saw that African territory had the ability to bring power to the countries of Europe, having been filled with resources that could bring money and control over land. To keep conflict away between the countries about the African territory, the Berlin Conference was planned and met on November 15, 1884, at Otto von Bismarck's residence in Berlin, Germany. If people joined together for the discussion of the division of Africa, there would be no conflict because there would be the consent of other countries. According to thenagain.info, countries need to divide the countries needed to divide the African natural beauty with the approval of other countries to avoid constant bloodshed and competition for African resources. The major players wanted to keep their power and status up. Those countries included France, Germany, Great Britain, and Portugal. You would think that dividing the African land was enough unfairness at one conference, but even more unfair was the fact that no one represented the continent of Africa. European countries didn't need their consent because they had poor government compared to the European countries altogether. Weisinger.homestead.com states, after more than 4 centuries of contact, the European powers virtually laid claim to all of Africa. The division of Africa was no benefit for the continent's original people and had long and short-term effects due to the conference decisions. AfricanFederation.net says that it was decided in Berlin that the Congo and Niger river mouths and basins would be considered neutral and open to trade. When the opportunity of freedom in the Congo and Niger River crossed paths with the manipulated leader, there was chaos. Leopold II, ruler of the Congo, had taken advantage of its freedom and brought harsh rules upon Congo citizens, killing 1/2 of the region's population. He was abusive and wanted absolute power. People were segregated and separated into different groups containing different cultures and lifestyles they didn't sign up for. This division can still be found today according to the apartheid packet. It states, evidence of apartheid can still be found throughout South Africa today. Whites are more likely to work in occupations that earn more money. You may ask, what did the apartheid have to do with the Berlin Conference? The truth is, Africa had beautiful resource-growing land, people, and culture that was torn to shreds by colonization. This way of ruling was a form of apartheid, and fairness was spread throughout Africa and in the thoughts of European countries. This colonization and official way of ruling apartheid was led by faith in imperialism. Digging deeper into the idea of imperialism, CaseEconomies.com states that imperialism was not only a cause of the African scramble, but also an outcome. The site claims that the complete takeover of another continent became a big test towards racism because many of the countries treated natives badly. This meant that people colonizing in the continent of Africa had superiority over other races. This helped conclude the theory, no longer a theory, that imperialism was all based on power. People with imperialism had power in their minds. That's all they wanted. That was their only goal. European countries came into the African game with imperialism in their minds and also came out with it as well. Hi guys, I'm your host Maggie Kearney. Thank you so much for watching today's documentary. Tune in when we talk about something else about history next week.